Okay, this video is just to give a quick recap on a system build that I have just finished doing. I've been due for an upgrade for a while, so just run through some of the components I've used. I have the EK H30 240 water cooling kit. Also the washer block for the GTX 470. NVIDIA's 3D Vision. Also had a single radiator due to the amount of heat given off by the GTX 470. The dual rad wasn't quite enough. We have the Zotac GTX 470. Also have an EVGA GTX 470 SC. Two OCZ 60GB SSDs, which are set up in RAID 0. Currently using Yate fans. I'm probably going to change them because they don't quite have enough static pressure to push their way through the radiator properly. We have the Roccat Kova Plus and a 6-channel Icasa fan controller. Also Xbox 360 controller right there, which is down the back there somewhere in a second. So I'll just open the case and have a quick look at the system. Also to mention, I have the OCZ 1250 watt power supply. I originally had a 600 watt Icasa power supply, which ran fine with just one GTX 470 and my AMD Phenom. However, when I tried to overclock both of them, the power supply kinda died on me, so I had to replace it with something a bit more substantial. Okay, so it's been a week or two since I did a hardware overview, and ran into various problems. Mainly, I was wanting to have push-pull fan configurations. However, due to the size of the case, was unable to do so, because when I had fans down below, they were basically obstructed by the memory modules, and obviously the having to add the single rad also added to that problem as well. So I had to compromise and basically add the fans outside the case up on top. Which seems to work fine. They're basically pulling the air from the inside of the case. But I think you need a bit more static pressure than the fans currently provide. So we have the 240 rad from EK up the top, which has two 1700 Yate fans providing the cooling for it. We have the blood red UV active coolant. However, I don't have any UV lights in there yet because I've kind of run out of space. I think I've kind of hit the maximum amount of kit I can squash into here. All the cooling system is EK. The DC pump down the bottom there. OCZ 1250 watt power supply. The first GTX, the EVGA, is been water cooled because initially that was all I had in the system, and then I came across the Zotac GTX 470 at a price that I couldn't really say no to, so I've yet to add that to the water cooling. However, I think I may actually have to upgrade the case to a Obsidian D, something with a bit more space to it. I did come across another problem. Initially I came up with white deposits in the water cooling system. Not quite sure why, because it was distilled the water that was put into it. I have heard people say that it's because of the oil coming from the pumps sometimes, but we shall see. We have the OCZ Vertex 2, 260 gigs. which are in RAID 0, and get pretty good performance, just shy of 500 megs. We have a Hitachi 400 gig there, which is just used for storage mainly. The cable routing is somewhat messy, however I was running out of spaces to route the cable. We have 8 gig of RAM. It's different versions of OCZ RAM. That was pretty much what I had lying around, so I just proceeded to use that. Anyway, that pretty much covers that. I'll probably add some benchmarks into the end of this video once I get it all up and running. In addition, for the NVIDIA 3D Vision, I had to pick up an LG 1200Hz monitor in order for it to work properly, so we'll give that a try as well.